He knows, right, okay. Beginners, this piece of modern art came first. We had the first one piece that was only in themed, and I'm not sure who did that one. Who did that one? Jonathan, well done. Where are you? Somewhere. Oh, hello, hiding. Yeah, I thought it was really nicely done. Nice finish. And I think you got about the 5-1, didn't you, give or take? And it's got enough mass that it's stable, because that was always going to be the problem with the tall, thin ones. And I have to say, no obvious flaws anywhere, so very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then there's this little pot with a black lid. That's yours as well, is it? Yeah, you said you did the pot to start with and then decided to do the lid afterwards. The finish on the outside of the pot is really good. I mean, it's very pot-like, but it looks better with the lid than it would do by itself. As you know, I'm not a great fan of the exposed recess, and you can also see where you've expanded the jaws. So the only way of overcoming that is to reverse it and trim out the inside using bowl reversing jaws. You'll get the hang of it as you move on. And there's some very slight marks on the inside, which again, with experience, you will get rid of. But with the black lid, that works really well, the combination of the two. I think it would have looked a bit weird without the lid. Yeah. I'd have called it a dog bowl and made you third.
The lid's a bit too full too.
Well, that's all right.
A bit of carcass in it.
Yeah, don't run it down. It works for me. Right, intermediate. This one came first, Mark Saville. Oh, there you go. Cedar of Lebanon, sealed, met the brief. Oh, yeah, where's the join? So it must be here, because there's a very slight pluck. Where is he? Sorry. Yeah, just there. There's a very slight pluck. I almost marked you down for that pluck and that pluck just there. Did you grip it just there or not, or was that just a cedar? Yeah, it does.
It smells nice when you turn it.
Yeah, and it's nice for Claire's chickens, the shaving. She loves the chickens. But knowing the wood and having used quite a lot of it, you've done a good job, and it's very pleasant. Good, okay. Then there's this one, which I was a bit harsh on. Was this yours as well? It was. At this slightly higher level of intermediate, I don't expect there to be a dip in the bottom.
I didn't notice it when it was on the day. Couldn't believe
That's even worse.
I know. Third.
Yeah.
I just I did it on purpose, but the fruit roll to the middle in the bottom.
But the bowl's nice. I don't mind the recess on something of this mass. That's okay. It's nice and solid. And actually, it's just that. It just goes, But other than that, very nice piece. Well done. Advanced. 2 items in here for the themed. I wasn't initially sure about the finish. But the more I looked at it, the more I thought, no, with that elegant shape, the high shine actually works quite well. I don't know what Waterlocks is, though.
It's a tunnel.
Oh, right, okay.
It's an American product. It's tunnel based, but it's got lots of nasty solvents in there.
So you don't flash it off with a blowtorch?
I wouldn't drink out of it.
No. It's almost so shiny that it's plasticky, which again was why I wasn't completely sure that I went for it. But actually, because it's thin and elegant, I was convinced at the end of the day.
Well, I made a mistake. The finish itself is a mid-sheen, but I buffed it. And it was the buffing with the canoodle wax and all the different buffing rules. They use a chestnut buffing system.
Chestnut buffing system. It's a very nice buffing system. And they are for sale.
It did put a high sheen on it. If you look at the bowl that I did there, that's got the same finish on the inside and the outside. The inside hasn't been...
I'm going to come to that in a minute.
And the outside has been...
I'm coming to that. Yeah. So, yeah, that's fine. So this one is, what's the wood, do you think? Elm? No? Ash maybe. Yeah. I only marked this as second simply because I wasn't too sure about that bulge on terms of the aesthetics. It wasn't quite as elegant as that one, but the slightly more natural finish was very pleasant, and there's no obvious flaws in it, and it meets the brief. Wasn't too sure whether there was still sawdust in the bottom, whether you'd only just finished it, but no, it's not. Okay. All right. I can actually see that the finish doesn't go all the way in. No, paintbrush. So I don't look at it otherwise. Chris Cox gets his bloody magnifying glass and light out and looks at it. Anyway. You did, right. So this is the end of the advanced, and I'll pass over to Chris for the masters, that's right. So this is a very nice piece. I just struggled with that difference between the semi-sheen finish on the inside, which I really liked, and the contrast with it on the outside. It looked like, and you just explained it, it looked like you'd kind of forgotten to do one bit or you'd done the other bit too much.
No, it was literally the buffing system is so phenomenal.
The buffing system is phenomenal. But
it's supposed to be on the underneath, the same as the inside.
yeah, which it isn't obviously, but
But that I call my beach hole because the stones came
excuse
from
me.
Hanging Island.
All right. Now the beach work is excellent. The finish is of very high quality. It was just that disparity between the inside and the outside. So I was harsh. I scored you second out of 1.
It was supposed to be like a contrast. That's what it's meant to be. Demonstration.
It's all personal. Chris, I think you can now, if you want to pick up and talk about these.
If I put it on the table, will it still pick me up?
I can do it on the table, yeah, but it's a matter of having pick them up. Do it slowly.
Right, I'm going to do the open theme first. I've given this one first. What's the wood? Burr oak. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the detailed work. The thread is really, really good. Somebody did tell me after I judged that it was machine, but at the end of the day, the judge is not supposed to know how you've achieved it, just the fact that you've achieved it. And you've done a thread, and you've got the grain matching, which is fantastic. You know, if the grain hadn't matched, I might have not knocked you down half a point. But the inside, beautiful. Not even a pimple. So yeah, really, really good. So that was worth a first all day long. Absolutely brilliant. And I love the finish you've used on there, because you obviously haven't buffed it. Because apparently you shouldn't buff it because it might go plasticky.
I really like that one.
15 all.
This one, it's a nice little simple shape. It's got a lovely detail in the foot. You've turned off the chucking point, whoever...
Me.
Thank
Sorry.
you. It's terrible. They're cracking on there. I thought you did that one. That's all right, because I was going to give that third. But no, it's a nice simple bowl, and it's got a lovely shape to it. It was definitely worth a second. This one, I gave it joint second because I thought there's an awful lot of work in that.
Yeah.
The fact that you've got the floating wood inside the acrylic and it's all even all the way around has taken some doing. I didn't mark down for the bubbles, the air bubbles that were in there, because I'm guessing it's very, very difficult to pour that depth of resin and not have air bubbles without the use of a pressure pot or a vacuum, a blowtorch. But again, that's limited on the depth that you can get the air bubbles out. And the air bubbles are only right around the edge of the wood where it was cut. But awful lot of work in that. So yeah, joint second, quite happy with marking that as a second. Okay. And this one, whose is that?
Mine. I didn't. before you mark it down, I didn't really put it in as a competition.
Right.
I bought it in to show people that if you can get hold of little bits of fur, I've made a lot of these, they do sell well if you go to craft fairs, and you can use it, because it wouldn't, it's lovely fur, but it wouldn't be useful for much else.
You'll be pleased that Malcolm wasn't marking this because it's really shiny and looks plastic.
I just say, I'm all different shapes.
I love the design, and unfortunately, I've given you a third, but that's not for the design. The design is a first all day long, but you're a master. Not that I knew this was yours, because I've never given this, I would never have guessed this to be you, because I've never seen a piece finished like you finished this.
At the back.
Well,
No, I haven't done the back.
this is where we start. This is where we're starting off. Okay. So as a master, we're looking at all round. So you've used the wood nicely. You've got a lovely design, and it's a great lot of thought that has gone into it. But what lets it down is you've still got saw marks from
Oh yeah,
the wood.
that's deliberate.
Deliberate.
I deliberately didn't intend to make it look, it isn't a competition piece. It was to show people.
It's like the dull centre bit, it was meant to be that way.
But also you've got your finish is dribbled.
Oh, I dribbled a lot.
You've dribbled a lot, and it's not been cleaned up. So
No, I agree.
that's-
Normally, when I make things, I must admit, I hadn't something on that, but I normally make the buttons for feet.
With the quality of the other ones, I couldn't mark it any higher.
Right, I'm sorry, we're going to have to move on because we've got Terry on the clock here. So the raffle, well done, Chris. Have you done everything? Thank you. Oh, sorry. Can you quickly flash through them?
Right, so I've done a joint first in the Masters for these two. This one, again, now I know that it's machine threaded. You've still got your chucking point in the bottom there, but it is cleaned up on the inside. If you look inside the vases of all these other ones, they're not cleaned up inside. So I can't mark them down for that, because...
Why not?
Well, there's a lot of work in this.
He'd have marked me down.
I wouldn't mark it down because it wasn't me. I would always mark you down.
In the ranks, please, in the ranks.
This one's was the second because, again, the shape of it is absolutely perfect. I love
Turn
the
around,
shape.
show the camera.
Very tactile, easy to pick up. And this one, unfortunately, is a third. It's a lovely piece of wood. I'm not quite sure what it is. I've seen this wood before. I can't think what it is. Is it olive wood?
It's Italian olive, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful piece of wood, but the work in the other ones just picked it. Okay. I'm not even going to talk about the split, but there's all wood splits eventually. It's very, very nice, but the others just picked you.
Well done.
Okay.
Sorry to gabble through.